Everyone and their mom knows now that there is a tremendous time skip in the new Dragon Ball Super superhero movie, but how many years exactly is this time skip? That is what we have today. With cutting edge science and math, we finally have the answer as to how many years exactly the new Dragon Ball Super movie 2022 takes place in the Dragon Ball Super timeline. Stay tuned for more.
Prepare yourself, Dan Saiyan.
Why did Android 18 fall in love with Krillin? Is it because he didn't destroy her with the remote? Wrong. Is it because he picked her up and saved her from Cell? Wrong. Or is it because he wished the bomb out of her chest? No. The reason that Android 18 fell in love with Krillin is because she respects a man that takes care of himself and holds himself up to high-level grooming standards. And how do you hold yourself up to those high standards and bag a queen like Android 18? Well guys, you keep yourself fully clean shaven like Krillin. And how do you do that? With Manscaped, the most versatile and reliable male grooming kit on the market. The sweet scent of the ball toner and ball deodorant is sure to keep your Android waifu very happy. Use my code BLACKSCAPE to get 20% off all Manscaped gear, including the Lawnmower 4.0. That way you guys can stay as silky smooth as Krillin is on a day-to-day basis. It is the only razor that he recommends, and it will help you bag the Android 18. Trust me, your Dragon Balls will thank you. This is a time skip. If this is the design that we have for Pan right now, then she looks eerily similar to what we saw at the end of Dragon Ball Z, end of Z Pan, who fought in the World Martial Arts Tournament. So that means that Goten and Trunks should realistically be aged up as well as they were at the end of Z Tournament. That was my TikTok talking about exactly what we found out in the new Dragon Ball Super 2022 panel, and that is that there is a time skip that is confirmed. And after I made this video, I researched online and saw that there is actually good enough evidence to suggest exactly how many years after Dragon Ball Super does this time skip take place and where it fits on the end of Z and possibly Dragon Ball GT. And if you'd like to see more, make sure you go ahead and slap that like button for the YouTube algorithm. That way you tell it that you want to see more of my content. If you guys could hit that like button, it's free and it helps me immensely. Probably the most annoying thing in the Dragon Ball Super anime is the Trunks and Goten age paradox, because they don't seem to age at all in the Dragon Ball Super animation or the manga. They seem to stay as small as possible, and this also goes with Marin. Like in Dragon Ball Z, the Buu saga, Trunks is 8 years old and Goten is 7 years old, and at that point they sort of fit exactly how big in their size they actually are. But we have a huge problem when it comes to them being transitioned from Dragon Ball Z to Dragon Ball Super, because since Dragon Ball Super takes place 4 years after the end of Dragon Ball Z, this would make Trunks 12 years old and would make Goten 11 years old. So this is fine, but they don't look it. They do not look like they've aged anymore. If anything, Goten has shrunk in that time span. So the aging and the growth is really all over the place when it comes to Goten and Trunks, but the years are the same. You cannot change the time period. You can't change exactly what time these years are set. So now take that into account that in Dragon Ball Super, they are 12 and 11. But this is at the start of Dragon Ball Super. It has been an unknown amount of time within Dragon Ball Super all the way to the Granola arc. We don't really know how many years it has been. It could have been a few months, it could have been an entire year. Personally for me, I would just add on an extra year just to be safe, because the time period is varied. So that would make Trunks 13 and that would make Goten 12. This is where we get kind of muddled, because at the end of Z, we have a time skip that happens within like an episode or so, and it has been said that it's been 5 years since the end of Boo up until that end of Z time skip. So that's literally 5 years. So right now I just measured about 5 years in the time skip to Dragon Ball Super and then a little bit of time in Dragon Ball Super. But say we don't even add that time in Dragon Ball Super and it's just 4 years. They have 1 year to get this big. That's one hell of a growth spurt. So right now in the Granola arc, we are much closer to the end of Z end date that has been said in the past. Although it could be retconned that this is the ending of Dragon Ball Super, we are so close to that we can almost taste it. So make sure to keep all that in mind. Now, the next little bit, I gotta give a huge shout out to Cody 99% on Twitter. I'm gonna leave a link to his Twitter account because he's also an artist. He does great work and he's got a lot of potential. Make sure you go ahead and check him out. I'm gonna leave a link in the description to where you guys can find him. He posted, very important thing to note, Pan is 5 to 6 in this movie due to the kindergarten note. Pan is a half year in the Tournament of Power and 4 at the end of Z. So what is he saying? Essentially, in Dragon Ball Super, when we see her, she's only like half a year old. But at the end of Z, in Dragon Ball Z, she's 4 years old. So the time period is already off right there. There's no way that she can make up that time if there's only like a year left to get from a half a year to 4 years old. Now, I took the research that Cody did, but at the same time, I looked it up myself. In Japan, which is what Akira Toriyama and their team are going off of, because even in the Buu saga with Gohan, they use all the correct ages when it comes to school. So for kindergarten, you have to be around 5 or 6 years old to be in kindergarten. There are exceptions to be younger, but most of the time, for the most part, 5 or 6, that is average. So I would say even if you just make her 5 years old, you're looking at a 5-year time skip between Dragon Ball Super surpassing the end of Z entirely. So you are now in Dragon Ball GT territory, meaning that it's been 5 years. Trunks should be 18 and Goten should be 17. So they should be adults essentially in this time skip in this movie. They cannot be little kids anymore. They could not be teenagers anymore. They're almost adults in this movie. They should look very similar to their end of Z counterparts. And at this point now, because the math just doesn't make any sense anymore, trying to say that the end of Z is the end of Dragon Ball Super, it doesn't make any sense. So I would say that they've already retconned that entirely. Now that end of Z time finish, it's not there. So with that being erased, you are well past end of Z. You are in Dragon Ball GT. Everyone should be aged 5 years or 6 years older. Goku obviously looks exactly the same, so does Piccolo, but they're aliens, you know, all that stuff. Krillin looks like he is like a sergeant at his job or something. He looks like he's ranked up a little bit. But the biggest change you're gonna see again is gonna be with Goten and Trunks and Marin. Those are the 3 that are really going to change, including Oob. They should all be much, much older in their teenage years. Marin should be around 15 or 16 years old at that, and Oob a little bit younger than that. So in my humble opinion, they are setting the next generation up, which is just a breath of fresh air in my opinion. Want Goku and Vegeta to be there, and I'm glad that we're getting to see their adventures in the Granola arc, because it looks like this movie, the anime, if it returns, should be taking place after this movie. Anything in the manga more than likely is taking place right before this movie. Once the Granola arc, whatever arcs finish up, more than likely they'll try to catch up to the anime and see. This is such a weird timeline. So Pan being 5, she is at like the correct, almost the correct age that she would have been at the end of Z in the World Martial Arts Tournament. So there you have it, guys. It is confirmed. It is a 5-year time skip, well past end of Z, and now we are in Dragon Ball GT, but Dragon Ball GT doesn't exist in this universe, so we are in the future of Dragon Ball Super. That's all I gotta say. There's going to be Blackscape signing off. Take care, guys.
Subscribe for more content. Or perish.